Okay, this is Form 5 major chords. If you want to support the work I'm doing, there is a link in the description to my Subscribe Star. Appreciate that. Okay, so this is going to be an interesting form. So let's just go up here, recap real quick. This is Form 1. It covers the first 3 frets of the guitar. Now remember, this is the key of C, okay? So these are all C major scales. So here's Form 1, here's Form 2, and we got Form 3, and then Form 4, and now we're at Form 5. As you move up the neck, if you go past this fret here, then we're back to Form 1 again, and it just repeats itself up the neck. Okay, so let's get down here to our, we start doing this C, and way down we get a lot done here. Form 5 major chord. Here we go. Okay, now I want to point something out. Well, let's get to the triad first, and then I'll point what I was going to tell you. Point out what I was going to tell you. Here we go. Okay, so 1, 3, 5. We're going to start with the triad. So we're going to get rid of everything that's not a 1, 3, or 5. So let's just get going on that. We'll keep that. Okay, so now all we have left is 1, 3s, and 5s. Now, if you look at this, these are all patterns that you could play for a C major chord. Like this is a legitimate C major chord right there. Or you could play it like this. You know, you've got 1, 3, 5. You get 2 5s here, but I mean that's a legitimate, you know, way to play it. But we're going to concentrate on this right here. So it only covers the highest 4 strings. We're going to get rid of that, this, and this. We're going to concentrate on this pattern right here. So the voicing of this chord is 1, 5, 1, 3. So this is how you play that. It's way up on the neck. It's on the 10th fret. Okay, here's 3, here's 1, 5, and 1. Okay, now I want to point something out. The voicing of this chord and these patterns we're going to do right here are exactly the same as Form 2, which is down here. Well, just a recap of the forms. Okay, here's 1. That's Form 1. Form 2. Form 3. 4. And 5. But 5 with these upper strings and number 2 are the same. So this is 1, 5, 1, 3, 1, 5, 1, 3. They're just an octave difference, okay? Okay, now let's move on to the next chord. We're going to do a C major 7. So we want to add the 7th. We're going to get rid of the highest one, because we have 1, 3, 5. It's basically a triad. We usually have 2 1s, but the highest one starts to descend. And again, this is not a progression that you have to use. It's just a way to learn these chords and to learn like what a major 7th is, what a dominant 7th, and what a 6th chord is, okay? So 1, 3, 5. Now we're going to go 1, 3, 5, 7. So we're going to get rid of everything. Actually, we're just going to keep these. Okay, we're going to keep that same pattern. So let's just get rid of everything that's not there, that we don't need. Okay, now, let's put this back on there. Whoops. Okay, now we want to get rid of this 1 because it's a major 7th chord. So now we have 1, 5, 7, 3, and that looks like this. Okay, so here's the 3, the 7, and the 5, and then the 1. 3, 7, 5, 1. I'm just barring with my 3rd finger here. So, okay, now I'm sure you can guess what the dominant 7th is going to be, but let's just go through it. Let's do what we did before. Just get rid of everything that we don't need, and we'll experiment with some other patterns later on. Let's get rid of that 1. We don't need that. The 7, this is going to be a flat 7 now. We're going to get rid of that 7, put it here. So now we have 1, 5, flat 7, 3. Okay? So now we're right here. Here's 3, flat 7, 5, 1. So, okay, now we're going to do a 6th chord. I'm sure you can already guess where that note is going to go from that dominant 7th. It's going to go right down here to the 6th. So let's keep all of our stuff here that we need. Oh, we gotta. Okay, let's get rid of this 1. And get rid of the 7. So now the voicing is 1, 5, 6, 3. And you play that like this. Here's the 3, the 6, 5, 1. So. Okay, now down in position 2, or form 2. Remember that? Okay, now. Okay, so we had like then we did a major 7th with a 9th in it. So now we're doing C major 7, C major 9, basically. Okay, C, that's going to represent the triad, 1, 3, 5. This major word is going to represent the 7, and the 9 is, we're just going to add the 9. So we have 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. So remember, a 2, or a 9 is the same as a 2. So we're going to take a look at this and see what we end up with. Let's try. Okay, we're going to use this 3 instead, I think. Let's see what we come up with here. We're still going to stick with these the 4 strings that are the highest. We'll use this 2 as our 9. We'll use this 7. I can do a little rearranging with. Hang on. Okay. All right. So we'll get rid of this 1. We're going to, instead of using this 3, we're going to use this one so that we can have a 3 in there. We're going to get, okay, we have to get rid of this 4 and 5 because, and we don't need the 6. So, all right, now this chord does not have a 5 in it. It doesn't have a 5th. But this is a nice chord, and I'll show you how we play that. So we have, okay, here's the 9. Okay, remember it says 2 there, but it's a 9. And here's the 7. Here's the 3. This is how I'm gonna play it. Okay, 9, 7, 3, 1. Okay, so it's a C major 9. Or now, let's say that we wanted to instead of using the 3. Let's use the 5, okay? And this is also a legitimate way of playing this, okay? So here's the 9, 7, 5, 1. So here's a regular major 7 chord. So we're gonna add the 9. Okay, now if you're gonna do it down here, now I already showed you these chords in form 2, but it's exactly the same voicing. So this would be your C major 7. Okay, C major 7, and then if we just drop this down to get the 9 here. And then this chord here, you know, using the 3rd, it'd be like this. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out, that you've got the same voicings way up on the neck. Okay, so now I'm going to do one other thing here that I probably shouldn't, but I'm going to do it anyhow just to show you. I'm going to put all these numbers back in here. Okay, now I want to point something out. I just have to do something real quick here. You got to make sure those numbers are big enough so you can see them. Okay. Now we're going to go back to the triad, 1, 3, and 5. See this 3 right here on the low E string? Okay, so we're going to use that instead of this one we were using up on the high string. So we're going to use this one. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. I just want to show you this so that you have an idea of how to do this, okay? Okay, so we're going to keep this one. So our third is theirs. Okay, let's get rid of that. Okay, so now what we have, this is C right here. Whoops, sorry, that's C. Okay, so this is C, and this would be like form 4. Okay, this is that region right here. So you could, if you were going to play a C chord, you could play it here. So you use this, so you got 1, 5, 1, and then here's the 3. It's in the bass. So your bass note is this. So this is like a slash chord. So this would be C over E, C/E, or 1/3, 1 over 3, okay? So this is how you play that. So here's the 1, here's a 5, here's another 1, and here's the 3. So if you're going to go from just a regular C chord in form 4, okay, that's a move that you'll hear a lot. Okay, that's all I'm going to cover with this, because I'm going to do a whole video series on these slash chords and inversions and that kind of thing. So anyhow, I hope you got something out of this. Thanks for watching. My subscribe star link is in the link in the description. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. We're going to do the minor chords next in this form.